Spain is not merely a country, it's a living canvas painted with centuries of tradition, passion, and profound regional diversity. Nestled in the southwestern corner of Europe, it's a nation that beckons travelers with its vibrant heartbeat, where every city square, mountain path, and seaside village tells a story passed down through generations. With its 17 autonomous communities, Spain is like a mosaic of many nations. Each region boasts its own language, customs, food, festivals, and even climate. From the green, misty hills of Galicia in the northwest to the parched, ochre-hued deserts of Andalusia in the south, Spain offers one of the richest geographical and cultural tapestries in Europe. You could stand on a snow-covered peak in the morning and be strolling a sun-drenched Mediterranean beach by sunset. This is a country where contrasts thrive harmoniously. In the heart of Madrid, bustling urban life pulses just steps away from centuries-old royal palaces and art museums housing the works of masters. In Catalonia, modernist architecture shares space with Roman ruins. And across the land, sacred silence in medieval cathedrals gives way to the vibrant sounds of flamenco, street musicians, and bustling tapas bars. What truly sets Spain apart, though, is its people. Whether you're in a coastal village or a metropolitan capital, Spaniards are united by a zest for life. Their warmth, humor, and unhurried nature draw visitors into a lifestyle that prioritizes joy, connection, and the art of living well. Life in Spain is meant to be savored over long meals, lively festivals, late-night conversations, and quiet moments watching the sunset over ancient rooftops. In this documentary journey, we won't just explore the places that define Spain, we'll uncover the layers of culture, history, and human stories behind them. We'll begin with some fascinating and lesser-known facts that show just how unique this country is, before venturing through iconic destinations, and finally, slowing down to experience the charm of its most beautiful villages. So whether you're dreaming of walking the Camino de Santiago, dancing until dawn at a local fiesta, or tasting paella at its birthplace, this journey through Spain is just the beginning. Fascinating facts about Spain. Spain is a country that defies simple definition. For every sweeping beach or historical cathedral, there's a surprising detail tucked just beneath the surface, one that turns a vacation destination into a living, breathing cultural marvel. Here are some fascinating facts that highlight just how exceptional this country truly is. A country of countless landscapes. Imagine standing on the edge of a volcanic crater in the Canary Islands, and just hours later, walking through a lush green forest in northern Spain. Spain isn't just geographically diverse, it's one of the most ecologically varied countries in Europe. In fact, Spain is home to 16 national parks and over 600 protected areas. From the snow-dusted Pyrenees to the semi-arid steppes of Castilla-La Mancha, Spain contains more microclimates than most travelers ever realize. This means that within the span of a day, you could ski, sunbathe, and hike through alpine meadows, all without crossing a border. It's no wonder the country is often used by filmmakers to portray a wide array of natural backdrops. A tapestry of languages and identities. Though Spanish, or Castilian, is the official language of the state, Spain is anything but linguistically uniform. The country recognizes several co-official languages, including Catalan in Catalonia and the Balearic Islands, Basque in the Basque Country, Galician in Galicia, and Aranese in parts of the Pyrenees. Even within Spanish, there are dozens of dialects and accents that can vary dramatically from one province to the next. In some towns, locals speak a version of Spanish influenced by Arabic. In others, they speak a form of Basque, a language unrelated to any other on Earth. It's a linguistic adventure, and for those who love culture, it's like traveling across several countries in one. A nation of islands. Spain doesn't just dominate the Iberian Peninsula, it also owns over 60 islands scattered across two major archipelagos. The Balearic Islands in the Mediterranean include the famous Ibiza and Mallorca, while the Canary Islands off the coast of northwestern Africa feel like an entirely different planet, with their volcanic craters, black sand beaches, and near-tropical climate. But many of these islands still retain a local flavor rarely found on tourist maps. Picture whitewashed villages where the pace of life hasn't changed for centuries, or cliffside towns where fishermen still sing as they pull in their nets. Each island offers its own culture, its own traditions, and its own way of life. Endless sunshine and blue skies. Sun worshippers, take note. Spain is one of Europe's sunniest nations, with some regions clocking over 3,000 hours of sunshine per year. Cities like Almeria and Seville bask under the Mediterranean sun nearly all year long, while the Canary Islands boast eternal spring with warm, mild weather even in the heart of winter. This abundance of sunshine doesn't just boost tourism, it shapes Spanish life. Outdoor cafes, siestas, open-air festivals, and long evening walks, paseos, are a reflection of a society deeply attuned to the rhythms of light and season. A monumental legacy. Spain is home to 47 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, placing it among the top-ranked countries globally. These range from prehistoric cave art and ancient Roman ruins to Gothic cathedrals and entire historic city centers. One of the most stunning examples is the Aqueduct of Segovia, a feat of Roman engineering that has stood for nearly 2,000 years. Made from over 24,000 granite blocks and built without a single drop of mortar, it still astounds engineers and historians alike. And who could forget the Seville Cathedral? A staggering triumph of Gothic architecture, this sacred building is not only the world's largest Gothic cathedral, but also houses the tomb of Christopher Columbus. Its soaring spires and intricate interiors make it feel more like a palace of stone and light than a place of worship. The highest capital in Europe. Many travelers are surprised to learn that Madrid, Spain's capital, is also Europe's highest capital city, sitting at an altitude of 667 meters, about 2,188 feet. This gives Madrid a unique climate, hot, dry summers, and brisk, often snowy winters. That's rare among major southern European cities. But Madrid's altitude doesn't slow it down. The city is vibrant, stylish, and full of energy. It pulses with life well into the early morning hours, with its plazas, art museums, and culinary markets bustling long after midnight. A feast for the senses. Food in Spain is more than just sustenance, it's a celebration. Each region tells its story through the ingredients, spices, and cooking styles passed down through generations. In Valencia, paella is a dish tied to the land, originally made by farmers with rabbit, snails, and vegetables. In Andalusia, gazpacho and salmorejo offer refreshing relief from the sun. And in the north, especially in the Basque Country, tiny culinary masterpieces known as pinxos line bar counters like edible art galleries. Perhaps no food symbolizes Spain better than jamón ibérico, or Iberian ham. A national treasure, this delicacy is made from acorn-fed pigs and cured over years to achieve its deep, nutty flavor. Spain consumes over 40 million kilograms of ham per year, a number that reflects both love and tradition. Spain is also the world's largest producer of olive oil, churning out roughly 1.5 million tons annually, which accounts for nearly half the global supply. Olive groves are sacred spaces in parts of Andalusia where trees are passed down like family heirlooms. A nation of wine and saffron. When it comes to wine, Spain is not just about quantity, it's about history and quality. With over 5,000 varieties of wine and more than 90 official wine-growing regions, every glass is a journey. From the bold reds of Rioja to the sparkling cavas of Catalonia, Spanish wine is as varied as its landscape. Then there's saffron, the crimson gold of Spanish cuisine. Spain is the world's top producer of saffron, responsible for over 70% of global output. Harvested painstakingly by hand from the crocus flower, saffron is an essential ingredient in paella and other traditional dishes. It's not just a spice, it's a legacy, a labor of love carried out in the quiet fields of La Mancha. Iconic places in Spain. 1. Valencia, a city where the future and past coexist. Valencia is a radiant city where old-world charm and futuristic design converge to create an unforgettable destination. Located on the eastern coast along the Mediterranean Sea, this coastal gem is Spain's third-largest city and an essential stop for anyone exploring the Iberian Peninsula. One of its crown jewels is the City of Arts and Sciences, Ciudad de las Artes y las Ciencias, a striking architectural complex that seems like something out of a science fiction film. Designed by Santiago Calatrava and Felix Candela, its sweeping white curves and glass facades reflect in pools of water that surround the buildings. The complex includes the largest aquarium in Europe, an opera house, a planetarium, and interactive science exhibits that fascinate children and adults alike. It is a space that defies the traditional concept of a museum. Here, learning feels like play. But Valencia's allure doesn't stop at modern marvels. The Fallas Festival, celebrated every March, transforms the city into a grand open-air theater of fire and creativity. Towering papier-mâché sculptures called ninots, many satirical and often humorous, are paraded through the streets and ultimately set ablaze in a fiery spectacle known as La Crema. The flames symbolize renewal, turning destruction into celebration and reminding visitors that this city is always reinventing itself. And then there's paella, not just a dish, but a birthright. True Valencian paella is made with ingredients from the surrounding countryside: rabbit, chicken, green beans, and saffron, cooked over an open flame in wide pans that perfume the air with smoky, savory goodness. To taste it here, where it was born, is to experience culinary heritage passed down for centuries. Add to this Valencia's golden beaches, lively art scenes, and historic old town, home to a cathedral where locals claim the Holy Grail resides, and it becomes clear why this city captures hearts from the first visit. 2. The Canary Islands, a universe of landscapes in one nation. Off the coast of northwestern Africa lies an otherworldly archipelago that belongs to Spain, but feels like a planet all its own, the Canary Islands. With 7 main islands and several smaller ones, this volcanic chain is a natural paradise where the diversity of ecosystems rivals entire continents. Tenerife, the largest of the islands, is crowned by Mount Tide, a dormant volcano and Spain's highest peak. Surrounded by Teide National Park, the mountain offers surreal, moon-like landscapes, punctuated by lava fields and vibrant plant life. Here, you can watch the sun rise above the clouds from a cable car station over 3,500 meters high, an experience that feels both spiritual and cinematic. The island's contrasting microclimates are astonishing. While the northern slopes are cloaked in lush laurel forests and misty mountains, the south offers dry, sunny beaches and arid terrain, perfect for sunseekers year-round. Gran Canaria, often referred to as a continent in miniature, offers everything from coastal dunes and pine-covered mountains to charming colonial towns. The Maspalomas Dunes, golden waves of sand shaped by wind and time, spill into the Atlantic, creating a visual harmony that's nothing short of magical. On Lanzarote, art and nature exist in profound synergy thanks to the legacy of Cesar Manrique, an artist who fused design with environmental preservation. From volcanic vineyards grown in black soil to underground galleries hidden in lava tubes, the island feels like a living canvas where humanity complements rather than conquers nature. Fuerteventura is the island of wind and waves, a haven for surfers, kiteboarders, and sailors. Its endless white beaches and turquoise waters are some of the most pristine in Europe, while inland, goats roam freely among volcanic ridges and windmills turn lazily in the sun. The Canary Islands are more than just vacation spots. They are landscapes of contrasts and communities, rich in folklore, music, and island traditions. The warm hospitality of the Canarian people ensures that every traveler is welcomed as part of their enduring story. 3. Cantabria, where prehistory meets the present. Tucked between the Basque Country and Asturias along Spain's northern coast, Cantabria is a region often overlooked, but never forgotten by those who venture there. It is a land of green valleys, rugged cliffs, and timeless traditions. The capital city, Santander, is a sophisticated seaside enclave where elegance meets the Atlantic breeze. Stroll along the Paseo de Pareda and you'll find Belle Epoque buildings, manicured gardens, and views of the Bay of Biscay that seem to stretch forever. The city's centerpiece, the Palacio de la Magdalena, sits on a peninsula surrounded by beaches and pine forests. Once a royal summer residence, today it hosts cultural events and offers breathtaking views over the sea. Yet Cantabria's most profound treasures lie beneath the surface, literally. The cave of Altamira, often called the Sistine Chapel of Paleolithic art, contains cave paintings over 36,000 years old. The original cave is closed to preserve the delicate artwork, but an exact replica lets visitors witness the marvel of these ancient masterpieces. The bison, horses, and handprints adorning the cave walls are haunting reminders of humanity's earliest creative expressions. Nature lovers will find refuge in the Picos de Europa, one of Spain's most dramatic mountain ranges. Towering limestone peaks, deep gorges, and crystal-clear rivers offer a playground for hikers and climbers. Small stone villages like Potes serve as gateways into the park, blending rustic charm with a deep-rooted mountain culture. Cantabria is also a land of quiet spirituality, where Romanesque churches dot the landscape and traditional stone farmhouses, called casonas, stand resilient in the misty countryside. It is a place where time slows, nature reigns, and history whispers from every cliff, cave, and cobbled street. 4. Madrid, the soul of modern Spain. Madrid, the beating heart of Spain, is a city that embodies the nation's dynamic spirit, blending centuries of royal heritage with a modern, electric edge. At first glance, Madrid may appear to be all grand boulevards and bustling energy, but look closer and you'll find a city layered with stories, art, and unapologetic passion for life. The city's architectural diversity alone is a reflection of its layered identity. On Gran Via, one of the city's most iconic streets, ornate early 20th century buildings house sleek modern shops, buzzing theaters, and rooftop bars that offer sweeping views of the cityscape. Each step along this boulevard reveals a blend of the historic and the contemporary, a reminder that Madrid never stands still. One of the city's most impressive landmarks is the Royal Palace, a sprawling masterpiece with over 3,400 rooms, making it the largest royal residence in Western Europe. Although it's no longer the home of the Spanish royal family, it continues to host official ceremonies and state functions. As you wander its regal halls, lined with tapestries, chandeliers, and frescoes, you can almost hear the echoes of kings, queens, and diplomats who once paced its floors. Across from the palace, the Almudena Cathedral offers an equally grand spectacle, with its neoclassical facade and colorful modern interior, a spiritual counterpart to the monarchy's material grandeur. Madrid's artistic soul beats strongest in the Golden Triangle of Art, home to three of the most renowned museums in the world. The Prado Museum houses an unrivaled collection of Spanish masters, including Velázquez's haunting Las Meninas and Goya's visceral black paintings. Nearby, the Reina Sofia Museum is home to Picasso's iconic Guernica, a powerful cry against the horrors of war. And at the Thyssen-Bornemisza Museum, visitors can journey from Gothic art to pop art in a single afternoon. But Madrid is not just a place to admire beauty, it's a city to taste. In the bustling Mercado de San Miguel, food becomes theater. Each stall presents a miniature feast: glistening Iberian hams, fresh oysters, artisan cheeses, and pintxos laid out like jewels. Here, food is not rushed. It's an event, often paired with robust red wine or a refreshing vermouth. As night falls, Madrid doesn't sleep, it transforms. From lively flamenco tablaos in La Latina to chic rooftop bars in Chueca, the city pulses with nocturnal life. There's a saying in Spain, de Madrid al cielo, from Madrid to heaven. The implication? After this city, nothing else quite compares. 5. The Pyrenees, nature's majestic frontier. Stretching more than 430 kilometers across Spain's northern frontier with France, the Pyrenees form a spectacular natural barrier that feels like stepping into another world, a world of snow-dusted peaks, highland meadows, and ancient legends. Unlike the more commercialized Alps, the Spanish Pyrenees offer an unfiltered, less trodden mountain experience. In the Aragonese Pyrenees, rugged trails wind through breathtaking valleys like Ordesa and Monte Perdido National Park, where glacial canyons, turquoise rivers, and cascading waterfalls create one of Europe's most dramatic landscapes. Hikers and adventurers come here to challenge themselves on winding mountain routes, some of which lead to high-altitude refugios, mountain huts where warm meals and even warmer camaraderie await. Winter transforms these mountains into a snowy paradise, with ski resorts like Baquera Beret and Formigal offering pristine slopes without the crowds often found in the Alps. But the Pyrenees are more than nature. They're a cradle of deep cultural identity. Remote villages cling to steep hillsides, their stone houses and Romanesque churches untouched by time. Ainsa, for example, is a medieval jewel perched on a hilltop where cobblestone streets lead to a castle and sweeping mountain views. In the Catalonian Pyrenees, the Val de Boí holds a cluster of UNESCO-listed churches that date back nearly 1,000 years, adorned with Romanesque frescoes and standing as quiet sentinels to the spiritual life of the highlands. Here, tradition still reigns. Local festivals celebrate ancient myths, shepherds lead flocks through alpine pastures, and hearty mountain cuisine warms you from the inside out. Dishes like trinxat, a potato and cabbage hash, and civet de jabalí, wild boar stew, speak of a land shaped by resilience and self-reliance. Above all, the Pyrenees offer a kind of sacred silence. To walk alone among its trails, with only the sound of your breath and the rustle of trees, is to experience Spain not as a spectacle, but as a sanctuary. 6. Andalusia, the soul of Spain in sunlight and shadow. If Spain were a poem, Andalusia would be its refrain, a passionate, evocative region where cultures collide, art flourishes, and the spirit of the country finds its purest expression. This sun-soaked land in southern Spain is a living tapestry of Moorish palaces, flamenco music, Roman ruins, and whitewashed villages that dazzle in the midday light. Seville, the region's capital, is a city of irresistible drama. The real Alcazar, a royal palace complex built by Muslim kings, is an architectural masterpiece of intricate tilework, serene courtyards, and lush gardens that seem pulled from a dream. It's no wonder the palace served as a filming location for Game of Thrones. Its beauty is otherworldly. In Seville, flamenco is not a tourist attraction, it is a heartbeat. Originating from Andalusia's Roma communities, flamenco combines music, dance, and soul-stirring emotion into an unforgettable performance. Witnessing it live in a dimly lit tavern in the Triana district is to feel centuries of sorrow and strength distilled into song and motion. Travel east and you arrive in Granada, where the Alhambra rises like a mirage above the city. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is perhaps the most stunning example of Islamic art and architecture in Europe. Intricate arabesques, poetic inscriptions, and fountains that whisper across courtyards tell a story of a lost kingdom that once thrived here. In Córdoba, the past takes on a mesmerizing duality. The Mezquita, a mosque-cathedral hybrid, is an awe-inspiring monument to cultural fusion. Walking among its forest of red and white striped arches, you feel the seamless blend of Islamic and Christian history, an architectural conversation across centuries. Andalusia's charm also lies in its smaller cities. Jerez de la Frontera is world-renowned for its sherry, a fortified wine aged in centuries-old bodegas, and for its Andalusian horse culture, where equestrian ballets unfold in riding schools that feel like royal courts. Meanwhile, Cádiz, one of the oldest cities in Western Europe, boasts golden beaches, lively markets, and a carnival that's a riot of color, satire, and song. Natural wonders abound, too. In Doñana National Park, flamingos wade through shimmering wetlands, and elusive Iberian lynxes prowl ancient cork forests. Along the Costa de la Luz, windsurfers dance with Atlantic winds, and white pueblos perch like sugar cubes atop sun-drenched cliffs. In Andalusia, the air itself seems to hum with memory. It's a place where the boundaries between Christian, Muslim, and Jewish heritage blur, where sorrow and joy exist in equal measure, and where every sunset feels like the close of a grand, timeless tale. 7. Murcia, Spain's sun-kissed orchard. Tucked between Andalusia and Valencia, Murcia is a region often overshadowed by its neighbors, yet it offers one of Spain's most authentic experiences. Known as Europe's orchard, Murcia is a land of fertile valleys, sun-drenched hillsides, and a coastline that kisses the warm waters of the Mediterranean. The region's capital, also named Murcia, is a city that thrives under nearly 300 days of sunshine each year. Its Baroque cathedral, crowned with a tower that took over 2 centuries to complete, is a kaleidoscope of architectural styles and an emblem of regional pride. Inside, a blend of Gothic grandeur and Renaissance detail invites moments of quiet awe. Murcia's historical heart pulses with vibrant life. Wander down Calle Traperia, lined with elegant facades and open-air cafes, and you'll find students, artists, and merchants mingling with the rhythm of a city that embraces its past while celebrating the present. Not far from the capital lies Cartagena, a city with a Roman soul and a maritime heartbeat. Once a crucial naval outpost of the Roman Empire, Cartagena boasts an impressive Roman theater that emerges dramatically from the earth like a secret rediscovered. Its harbor, flanked by fortress walls and modern promenades, remains one of the most beautiful natural ports in Spain. Along the coastline, the Mar Menor, Europe's largest saltwater lagoon, offers shallow, warm waters perfect for kayaking, windsurfing, and sailing. The surrounding beaches, especially those near La Manga, are dotted with beach bars and quiet coves, offering something for both sunseekers and solitude lovers. What truly sets Murcia apart is its connection to the land. Here, agriculture isn't just a livelihood, it's an identity. Fields burst with citrus trees, artichokes, and almonds. Local markets overflow with produce that tastes like sunshine. The annual Bando de la Huerta, held each spring, is a jubilant celebration of rural life. Locals wear traditional attire, parade decorated floats, and serve generous portions of hearty Murcian stews and zarangolo, scrambled eggs with zucchini and onions. Murcia invites you not with grandeur, but with warmth. It's a place where hospitality is second nature and where the beauty lies in authenticity. 8. The Balearic Islands, Mediterranean dreams in color and light. Floating in the tranquil waters of the Mediterranean Sea, the Balearic Islands are Spain's tropical daydream, each island offering its own flavor of paradise, from party pulses to peaceful retreats. At the center is Mallorca, the largest of the archipelago, and an island of compelling contrasts. The Serra de Tramuntana, a UNESCO World Heritage mountain range, sweeps along the island's northwest coast, offering jaw-dropping cliffs, ancient olive groves, and villages like Valdemosa, once home to composer Frédéric Chopin. In stark contrast, the island's south is all sunshine and beaches, with white sand stretching into calm turquoise waters, ideal for families and sunbathers. Palma, Mallorca's capital, is a vibrant cultural hub. The Cathedral of Santa Maria of Palma, often called La Seu, stands regally above the sea. Its Gothic towers, partially redesigned by Antoni Gaudí, reflect a golden hue at sunset, a sacred light show that never fails to impress. Nearby, the Palau de l'Almudena, a royal palace, adds to the city's regal charm. To the west lies Ibiza, globally famous for its nightlife and music festivals. But beyond the world-renowned clubs, Ibiza reveals a softer side. In villages like Santa Gertrudis or Sant Joan, time slows. Whitewashed buildings shimmer in the sun. Bougainvillea spills over stone walls, and the scent of herbs, rosemary, thyme, lavender, fills the air. Ibiza's north coast hides quiet coves and hidden beaches like Cala d'Ensera, where clear waters meet pine-covered cliffs. The island also holds deep spiritual roots, with a legacy of bohemian communities and spiritual retreats nestled in its interior hills. Menorca, the least developed of the main islands, is a sanctuary for nature lovers. Declared a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve, the island protects its flora, fauna, and fragile coastline fiercely. Trails like the Cami de Cavals, an ancient path circling the island, lead to secret beaches and sea caves, untouched by modern tourism. And then there's Formentera, a Mediterranean jewel only accessible by ferry from Ibiza. Often compared to the Caribbean, Formentera's beaches, like Ses Ilettes, boast white sands and crystalline waters that defy description. No high-rises, no frantic nightlife, just calm, clarity, and timeless beauty. Whether you seek the rhythm of the dance floor, the stillness of nature, or the flavors of Mediterranean cuisine, the Balearics are a place where dreams and sunlight intertwine. 9. Castile and Leon, the historic soul of Spain. In the vast interior of Spain lies Castile and Leon, a monumental region where every stone, tower, and field whispers tales of knights, kings, and scholars. It is here, in this plateau of castles and cathedrals, that Spain's medieval heart beats strongest. Salamanca, known as the Golden City, owes its nickname to the warm glow of its sandstone architecture. Its university, founded in 1218, is one of the oldest in Europe and helped shape the intellectual foundation of the Spanish Renaissance. The Plaza Mayor, considered one of the most beautiful squares in Spain, is a Baroque masterpiece where laughter and music echo under stone arches late into the night. Segovia, by contrast, wows with sheer Roman engineering genius. Its aqueduct, built nearly 2,000 years ago, still towers above the town like a stone crown, composed of granite blocks held together without mortar. It's not just a marvel, it's a miracle of endurance. Towering over Segovia is the Alcazar, a fairy tale castle that inspired Walt Disney's design for Cinderella's castle. With its turrets, drawbridges, and cliffside perch, it offers panoramic views of Castile's rolling plains and snow-dusted peaks. Further west lies Avila, encircled by perfectly preserved medieval walls. At night, they're illuminated in gold, creating a majestic halo around the city. Walking these ramparts, you're not just a tourist, you're a traveler in time, imagining sentinels keeping watch in centuries long past. And then there's Burgos, with its majestic Gothic cathedral, a UNESCO treasure and final resting place of El Cid, Spain's legendary warrior. Nearby, the Atapuerca archaeological site reveals one of the oldest known human presences in Europe, proving that Castile and Leon has been shaping humanity's story for over 1 million years. This region is also a pilgrimage heartland. The Camino de Santiago cuts through its fields and forests, drawing pilgrims from every continent. Along its path lie villages where the hospitality of strangers is met with warm bread, soft beds, and words of encouragement. The cuisine here is rustic and satisfying. Lechazo asado, roast suckling lamb, morcilla de Burgos, blood sausage with rice, and bold red wines from Ribera del Duero create meals that are feasts of the land, earthy, generous, and unforgettable. In Castile and Leon, history isn't something to observe, it's something you breathe. 10th, Galicia, a land of pilgrimage, myths, and Atlantic soul. In the misty, rain-kissed northwest corner of Spain lies Galicia, a region wrapped in legends, mystery, and green rolling hills that seem to stretch into eternity. Bordered by the Atlantic Ocean and shaped by Celtic roots, Galicia feels like a different world, one where time moves slowly and the sacred and natural worlds intertwine. At its heart lies Santiago de Compostela, one of the most important pilgrimage destinations on Earth. For over 1,000 years, pilgrims have followed the Camino de Santiago, trekking across mountains, valleys, and plains to reach the city's majestic cathedral. Legend holds that the remains of St. James the Apostle rest beneath its golden spires, and for many pilgrims, reaching this holy place is a life-changing moment of reflection and renewal. Yet Galicia offers far more than its sacred capital. Its rugged coastline, known as the Costa da Morte, or Coast of Death, is named for the many shipwrecks that occurred along its jagged cliffs. Here, the ocean roars with unrelenting power, carving sea caves into granite rock and sending salty spray high into the sky. But amid the danger lies a raw, untamed beauty. Hidden beaches, lighthouses that pierce through the fog, and fishing villages where nets dry in the wind and octopus boils in iron pots. One such village is Muxia, where the sanctuary of Virgen de Barca stands defiantly on the edge of the sea. Locals believe that this is where the Virgin Mary appeared to St. James in a stone boat, a story that blends myth, religion, and the deep spiritual connection Galicians have with their land. Inland, Galicia's forests whisper ancient stories. Moss-covered stones and trickling brooks line trails that feel as if they were crafted by druids. The Ribera Sacra, with its terraced vineyards climbing the slopes above the Sil River, produces award-winning Albarino and Godella wines and offers a peaceful retreat for wine lovers and poets alike. Galician cuisine is another revelation. Pulpo a la gallega, tender octopus served with olive oil, salt, and paprika, is a staple of local fares. Fresh shellfish from the Rias, estuaries, hearty empanadas, and the signature tarta de Santiago, almond cake, round out a culinary experience that is as rich as it is humble. Galicia is a place that doesn't try to impress. It simply is. Quiet, mystical, and deeply rooted in tradition, it invites you to listen, to walk slowly, and to feel every drop of Atlantic rain on your skin. 11th, Extremadura, Spain's untouched historical heartland. Few places in Spain remain as pure and untouched as Extremadura, a land where olive groves meet Roman ruins, and the echo of hooves still rings on cobbled streets. Nestled along Spain's western border with Portugal, Extremadura is a land of vast open skies, rich biodiversity, and one of the most impressive collections of historical architecture in Europe. Its capital, Mérida, is a living museum of Roman grandeur. Once the capital of the Roman province of Lusitania, Mérida today houses one of the most well-preserved sets of Roman ruins outside Italy. The Roman theater still used for performances during the summer festival, transports visitors back 2 millennia as they sit among ancient stones under the stars. Nearby, the Temple of Diana, the Roman bridge over the Guadiana River, and the sprawling amphitheater speak to a city that once rivaled Rome in ambition and elegance. Walk these streets, and you're walking through layers of empires. Then there's Cáceres, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the best preserved medieval cities in Europe. With its maze of stone alleys, hidden plazas, and fortified towers, it feels like a fantasy film set, but it's entirely real. From Game of Thrones to period dramas, the world has noticed Cáceres' cinematic beauty. At dusk, the city glows in soft gold, and silence reigns in its car-free old town. Further north, Trujillo sits perched atop a granite hill, crowned by a castle and a statue of Francisco Pizarro, the conquistador who left these lands for the New World. The town's noble mansions and tranquil squares speak of former glory and the long journey of wealth and power that flowed from Spain's age of exploration. But Extremadura is not only about human history, it's a biodiversity haven. The Monfragüe National Park is one of the best places in Europe to spot birds of prey, including imperial eagles and griffon vultures, soaring over river gorges and Mediterranean forest. The land's unspoiled nature is its greatest treasure, supporting rare orchids, endangered lynxes, and centuries-old cork oaks. No visit here is complete without tasting jamón ibérico de bellota, the region's most prized delicacy. These acorn-fed pigs roam freely through the Dehesa forests, creating ham that's sweet, nutty, and melt-in-your-mouth rich. Pair it with torta del casar, a creamy sheep's cheese so soft it oozes from the rind, and you'll understand why food here is as revered as its ruins. Extremadura doesn't shout. It whispers its beauty to those willing to listen, and it rewards travelers with the rare pleasure of discovery. 12th, Barcelona, the modernist masterpiece on the Mediterranean. No city in Spain blends creativity, history, and coastal cool quite like Barcelona. As the capital of Catalonia and one of Europe's most visited cities, Barcelona is a place where surreal architecture, ancient streets, and contemporary culture form an irresistible mosaic. The city's soul is perhaps best embodied by one man, Antoni Gaudí. His vision reshaped the urban landscape into something dreamlike and extraordinary. The unfinished Sagrada Familia, with its sky-piercing spires and kaleidoscopic stained glass, is both cathedral and sculpture, a monument to ambition, devotion, and imagination. Under construction since 1882, this temple to modernist art continues to grow, captivating every eye that gazes upon it. Just a short walk away is Passeig de Gràcia, where buildings like Casa Batlló and Casa Milà, La Pedrera, seem to ripple and breathe, their facades undulating like ocean waves. These aren't mere homes. They're symphonies of stone, iron, and color. Beyond Gaudí's masterpieces lies the Gothic Quarter, the city's medieval heart. Here, narrow alleyways twist and turn like a labyrinth, revealing Roman walls, shadowy chapels, and bustling squares where artists sketch and musicians serenade. This district feels both eternal and alive, with every stone whispering centuries of history. Yet Barcelona never clings too tightly to the past. It embraces change, innovation, and rebellion. In neighborhoods like El Raval and El Born, street art flourishes alongside modern galleries and cutting-edge cuisine. The city pulses with energy, from the creative chaos of local designers to the beat of late-night beach parties. Speaking of beaches, Barceloneta offers a sandy escape just minutes from the city center. Whether you're jogging along the promenade, sipping sangria at a Chiringuito, or simply watching the sun melt into the Mediterranean, the coast reminds visitors that Barcelona is both metropolis and beach town in one. The food, too, is an art form. From tapas and paam tomate to experimental tasting menus at Michelin-starred restaurants, Barcelona's culinary scene is as diverse as its architecture. Don't miss La Boqueria Market, where the colors of fresh produce, spices, seafood, and cured meats explode like a living painting. Barcelona is a city of contrasts, sacred and profane, elegant and anarchic, grounded in history, but constantly reinventing itself. To walk its streets is to be reminded that creativity is not just something you observe, it's something you feel. 13. Navarre, between bulls, forests, and Basque borders. In the northeastern corner of Spain, where the lush Pyrenees descend into fertile plains, lies Navarre, a region of stark contrasts, wild deserts and deep forests, sacred pilgrimage trails, and adrenaline-fueled fiestas. This is a land where ancient traditions breathe side by side with quiet, introspective landscapes. Navarre's capital, Pamplona, might be globally famous for 1 week of chaos, the legendary running of the bulls during the San Fermin festival, but the city's soul extends far beyond this heart-pounding tradition. Every July, people from all over the world gather to don white clothes and red scarves, ready to run ahead of thundering bulls down narrow cobblestone streets. It's a visceral celebration of courage, community, and centuries-old ritual. But beyond the adrenaline lies a city filled with parks, historic fortresses, and vibrant Pinixo bars, especially calm and walkable once the festival crowds disperse. North of Pamplona, dense beech forests and winding rivers welcome travelers into the Irati Forest, one of Europe's largest and least explored woodland expanses. In autumn, its golden canopy glows like something from a fairy tale, while in spring, it's alive with birdsong and blooming wildflowers. Hikers here often report a deep sense of serenity, as if the forest itself is gently urging visitors to slow down and listen. Navarre also plays a vital role in the spiritual geography of Spain as an entry point for the Camino de Santiago. The Roncesvalles Pass, where Charlemagne's army once met defeat, marks a key waypoint on the pilgrimage. The trail here winds through sleepy villages, Romanesque churches, and panoramic mountain views, offering not only physical challenge, but also moments of spiritual reflection. Culturally, Navarre is a bridge between Spanish and Basque identities. You'll find Basque-style farmhouses, traditional quetzapala, beret-wearing elders, and a culinary scene that borrows the best of both traditions. Local wines and stews mingle with Navarran white asparagus, red piquillo peppers, and cordero al cilindron, lamb braised in tomato and pepper sauce, often served during village festivals. For those willing to explore beyond the famous fiestas, Navarre offers hidden treasures, salt flats, Roman ruins, medieval monasteries, and a rich silence only broken by church bells or a distant river's song. 14. Costa del Sol. The Costa del Sol, with its coastline stretching over 150 kilometers along the Mediterranean in Andalusia, is an ideal haven for sun and sea lovers. This region is blessed with over 300 days of sunshine a year and a variety of beaches ranging from quiet hidden coves to bustling seaside resorts. Marbella, with its luxurious yachts and high-fashion boutiques, is the heart of glamour on the coast. Not far away, you'll find Torremolinos and Fuengirola, where lively nightlife and fresh seafood restaurants attract both locals and tourists. In Malaga, the cultural gem of the coast, you can explore the Gibralfaro Castle for a beautiful view over the city and the sea. Also, visit the museum dedicated to Pablo Picasso, which reveals the famous artist's roots in an intimate and engaging collection. Moreover, the Pompidou Center, a branch of the famous Parisian Museum, offers a window into contemporary art, with temporary exhibitions and permanent installations. The Costa del Sol is also renowned among golf enthusiasts, boasting over 70 courses that offer spectacular views and exciting challenges for every player. This mix of culture, history, luxury, and nature makes the Costa del Sol one of the most celebrated destinations in Spain. Quince, Asturias. Known as Spain's natural paradise, Asturias offers a charming combination of green mountains, pristine beaches, and a rich cultural heritage. The region is famous for its incredible natural landscapes, including the Picos de Europa National Park, where hiking trails offer spectacular views and the chance to spot wildlife, such as the Iberian wolf. Cities like Oviedo and Gijón captivate with their historic architecture and vibrant cultural scenes. Oviedo, with its Gothic cathedral and UNESCO-listed pre-Romanesque churches, is a hub of history and art, while Gijón, with its lively waterfront and cultural festivals, represents the heartbeat of modernity in Asturias. The regional cuisine, with the famous Asturian cider and dishes like fabada, a bean and meat stew, makes every meal a cultural discovery experience. 16. Catalonia. Beyond its capital, Barcelona, Catalonia boasts a diversity of landscapes and cultural riches that captivate every visitor. Girona, in the north, is a city of rare beauty with a well-preserved Jewish quarter and medieval walls that offer panoramic views over the old city and surrounding rivers. The region is also famous for its Costa Brava beaches, where places like Cadaqués and Lloret de Mar perfectly blend natural beauty with history, culture, and vibrant nightlife. The inland landscape of Catalonia reveals ancient monasteries like Montserrat, with its impressive basilica nestled among spectacular rock formations, serving both as a pilgrimage site and a starting point for hikers. 17. Castilla-La Mancha. Castilla-La Mancha evokes images of vast open landscapes, windmills, and the legendary Don Quixote. Located in the heart of Spain, this region is rich in history and traditions. Toledo, the historical capital, is an enchanting labyrinth of medieval streets winding around a majestic Gothic cathedral and the famous Alcazar. The city is also renowned for its high-quality sword production and for having been a melting pot of Christian, Muslim, and Jewish cultures. Another gem of the region is Cuenca, known for its hanging houses that precariously perch on cliffs above the Huecar River. Beyond its cultural heritage, Castilla-La Mancha is renowned for its wines, with protected designations of origin and cheeses that are appreciated worldwide. 18th Basque Country. The Basque Country, located in northern Spain, is a unique territory characterized by a distinct culture, language, and traditions. Bilbao, the region's largest city, is a living example of urban transformation, with its famous Guggenheim Museum having revolutionized the cityscape with its extraordinary contemporary architecture. San Sebastian, the pearl of the Basque coast, is famous for its charming beaches such as La Concha and for its renowned film festival. Equally important is Basque cuisine, globally recognized for its pintexos and new Basque cuisine, which has garnered international acclaim. The experience of exploring the Basque Country is completed by the opportunity to immerse in an incredible natural environment, which includes both the lush Irati forest and the rocky Atlantic coast, offering an irresistible mix of culture, gastronomy, and nature. Charming villages of Spain. After visiting Spain's most famous destinations, let's now delve into the tranquility of its most charming villages and small towns, where the essence of Spanish life manifests in a more intimate and authentic way. Primul Altia. Positioned on the Costa Blanca, Altia is renowned for its whitewashed homes that shine under the Spanish sun, offering an intriguing contrast with the Mediterranean Sea. The village streets are a weave of stone alleys and flower-decorated staircases, where every corner reveals characteristic views or unique pieces of art. Beyond being a haven of tranquility, it is also a vibrant cultural center, with art galleries, craft shops, and restaurants serving the authentic flavors of the region. History enthusiasts will also find churches and monuments, while nature lovers can enjoy the serene beaches and hikes in the nearby hills. Segunda Ronda. Perched on a majestic cliff and divided by the deep El Tajo Gorge, Ronda is a gem of Andalusia, enchanting with its unique landscape and historic architecture. The famous Puente Nuevo, bridging the two parts of the city, offers spectacular views of the canyon below and the surrounding mountains. Moreover, walking through the streets of Ronda is like traveling through time, with each road recounting medieval eras, Moorish conquests, and cultural renaissances. Visitors can explore ancient fortresses, noble palaces, and museums rich in art and local history, or relax in the many bars with panoramic views. Tercer Cudillero. Nestled between the green hills of Asturias and the blue sea, Cudillero is a rustic fishing village where colorful homes seem to climb the slopes, creating a vibrant natural amphitheater. Life here revolves around the harbor, where fishermen daily return with their sea harvest, ready to be transformed into culinary delights reflecting the village's maritime tradition. Strolling through Cudillero, one can feel both the call of the sea and the tranquility in the narrow streets, discovering hidden corners and terraces with views of the sunset. The local culture is also expressed through festivals and events that celebrate the maritime identity and local history, making every visit an authentic experience. Cuarto Albarracin. Surrounded by a landscape that seems lifted from a painting, Albarracin nestles in the hills of Aragon, offering an extraordinary example of a well-preserved medieval village. Its ancient walls and towers dominate the landscape, enveloping tourists in a sensation of time travel. The narrow cobbled streets wind between terracotta-colored stone buildings with flowered balconies and small squares that invite moments of rest. The serenity of this village is palpable, ideal for those looking to escape the noise of modern life and immerse in an atmosphere from another time. Cinquième Besalú. A jewel of Catalonia, Besalú captures attention with its impressive fortified bridge crossing the Fluvia River. This historic village is a silent witness to past eras, with a heritage reflecting its importance during the Middle Ages. The streets of Besalú are a stone labyrinth, leading through arches, colonnades, and remnants of synagogues that tell the story of a once thriving Jewish community. Every corner of the village is an invitation to explore further, discovering artifacts and architectures rich in coexistence and change. 6. Santillana del Mar. This village in Cantabria is often described as one of the most beautiful in all of Spain. With its cobblestone streets and heraldic houses standing along impeccably preserved roads, Santillana del Mar seems like a scene preserved straight from the Middle Ages. The town is famous not only for its architectural beauty, but also for the nearby Altamira, known for its prehistoric painted caves. The combination of history, culture, architecture, and natural beauty makes this village a must-visit destination for anyone wishing to connect with Europe's past in a setting of rare beauty. Sedum Potuf. Among the majestic peaks of the Picos de Europa in Cantabria, Potes stands out as a historic jewel, a crossroads of cultures where the medieval and Moorish influences intertwine perfectly. Characterized by stone bridges and period towers, this village is a vibrant center for lovers of history and nature. Local markets animate the streets of the center, displaying typical products such as pecan cheese and honey from the surrounding mountains. The waters of the Deva River enrich the landscape, making the village an ideal starting point for hiking or trekking adventures along the trails that wind through the valleys and high peaks. Octava Pedraza. Located a short distance from Madrid, Pedraza is one of Spain's best preserved fortified towns, a true dive into the medieval past. Entering this village through its sole medieval gate is like crossing the threshold into another era, where cobbled streets and stately squares tell ancient stories. Pedraza is known for its tranquil atmosphere, the castle that overlooks the village, and for its candlelit evenings when during special events, the entire town is illuminated by thousands of candles, creating an enchanted and timeless environment that attracts tourists from every corner of the world. Neuve, Cadaqués. Positioned on the shores of Catalonia, Cadaqués is a harbor that has historically attracted artists like Salvador Dalí, who found inspiration in its maritime landscapes and picturesque architecture. With its narrow, winding streets, white-painted houses with blue accents, and an art scene that is still palpable, Cadaqués is an escape from the daily chaos, offering tranquility and inspiration. Its isolated location on Cap de Creus makes it an ideal place for those seeking peace, with secluded beaches and sea views that change color at sunset, offering moments of pure natural beauty and serenity. Décimo, Alcalá del Júcar. Located in the province of Albacete, Alcalá del Júcar is renowned for its spectacular river scenery and houses carved directly into the hillside rock. This charming village also stands out for its imposing castle that dominates the landscape and the stone bridges that cross the Júcar River. The village streets wind through an intricate labyrinth of passages and steps, offering panoramic views of the river and surrounding valleys. Visitors can also explore the numerous inhabited caves, enjoy a dip in the crystal-clear waters of the river, or sit in one of the many outdoor cafes to savor local specialties in an idyllic setting. On Birinci Setenil de las Bodegas. Unique in its kind, Setenil de las Bodegas challenges architectural conventions by being built directly under huge rock boulders, which serve as natural roofs for many of its houses. This Andalusian village is famous not only for its unusual configuration, but also for the liveliness of its market, where local products such as chorizo, honey, and olive oil are displayed. Walking through the streets of Setenil, one feels a strong sense of community and tradition, with narrow shaded alleys offering shelter from the hot Spanish sun and a welcoming atmosphere that invites exploration of every corner. Dördüncü, Onikinci, Hondarribia. This Basque village is positioned on the coast, overlooking France across the Bay of Chinguetti. With its fortified walls, colorful houses with flowered balconies, and stone streets, Hondarribia is a perfect blend of history, culture, and natural beauty. The village is also famous for its cuisine, with a range of Michelin-starred restaurants and traditional taverns where one can taste authentic Basque dishes. The vibrant cultural scene manifests in festivals and celebrations, which come to life in the squares and along the docks, making the village a magical place where tradition and modernity coexist in perfect harmony. Tretón de Tossa de Mar. Situated on the sparkling Costa Brava, Tossa de Mar is a rare gem, famous for its fine sandy beaches and crystal-clear waters. But it is its historic center, surrounded by ancient medieval walls and dominated by an imposing castle that truly captures the essence of the village. The narrow paved streets are lined with white houses adorned with geraniums at the windows and small restaurants offering delicious cuisine. The combination of art, history, and nature makes Tossa de Mar an ideal place for those seeking an escape from routine, a place where one can explore art galleries, ancient churches, and panoramic terraces overlooking the Mediterranean. Conclusion. Concluding this visual journey through Spain, we have moved from the charm of its ancient villages to the most famous icons, discovering together not only places, but also curiosities that make every corner of this country unique. We hope that the images and stories told have enriched your knowledge and stimulated the desire to personally explore the varied beauty of Spain. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel to discover new epic destinations.